Today is the day. Today is the day. Okay, I think they arrived. I think it's for today. Oh my god, I am so excited, in case you couldn't tell. Got the photos. Good morning everyone, hope you're having an amazing day. We made you go through hell in the other videos. I mean through hell. I thought there was like great tips in the other videos, but apparently a lot of you got frustrated after watching and not seeing the photos, and that's exactly how I felt too when I edited the video, when I shot those photos, and when I waited 2 weeks?
Yep.
2 weeks to see those photos. So today is finally the day we're going to be looking at them together. We're going to be reviewing what happened and how do they look. Oh, I'm so curious. Remember the guy that was like, just press the button? That should be a good one. That should be, right? Well,
I know what it
let's
looks
not
like.
spoil it too much. Let's not spoil it too much. Let's get whoosh. All right. Wow, love your sound effects. I want to give a little bit of context. If you remember, we went on the film photography challenge with Eric. We shot with, can you remind us what camera it was?
It's a Leica M6 35mm film camera.
There we go. What kind of film did we put inside?
We had Portra 400 in there.
And we went on the challenge, 10 minutes each, in the street shooting. If you want to watch the full episode and see no picture, you can watch that video. If you want to see the result, it is right here, right now. Eric, a big question for you. When you sent out the film, basically you sent it out, and then how did you get it back? Did you get the box?
No.
You get a box back? Apparently, they don't send you boxes anymore, so I was very disappointed.
Yeah, but if they did, it would definitely say, like a box, and it would say the photos.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. What's great about Indie Film Lab is they will send you an email saying your scans are ready, and so you get a gallery where you can see all of your digital scans in JPEG format. Okay. You can download straight from that gallery, and then you can do whatever you want with the JPEG.
All right, well, let's look at the photos. Let's look at what, Eric, you did. Let's look at your first image. I'm so excited. Let's go.
This is my first
okay.
shot. I really tried to work with harsh light and lines, and I guess the more I look at this photo, it's not too bad. We have a lot of vertical lines going in the frame. We have a lot of straight lines in the frame. We haven't done anything to this photo. Yeah. And you could tell that the timing was pretty good. I got the biker right in the middle between the two poles, and we have the shadow lead line going straight to her front tire. You have other things. You have other things bouncing out the frame, like the person over to the right standing with his hood, and the taxi on the left. Yeah,
it looks like he's looking at her.
Yeah. So you have a good balanced photo, and I don't know. I kind of looked at it at first and was like, whatever. But now the more I'm looking at it, it's not too bad. I
have a question. Maybe you guys have questions also. You can leave them in the comments below. We'll try to answer them, not live, but don't worry, we'll answer them after. Did they edit them? Or did they do something, or is it the way it's processed comes out like so drastically contrasted?
Yeah, so they're actually developing the film, the whole process of the darkroom, and then they're bringing it over to a scanner. They're running the film through the scanner, and then it's turning it into a digital file.
And maybe the real experts out there can tell us, but I think it's depending on the chemistry you're using, you're going to get less or more contrast, etc.
Yeah, there's so many variables. The harsh light makes it very contrasted, I've found.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. All right, next one, ready?
Yeah.
Ooh.
This is one of those photos I just shot to try to shoot anything in the 10 minutes. The reason I wanted to photograph this because he had a yellow jacket. I thought that would contrast well up against the darkness of the buildings and the blue windows.
So nothing too special about that one? No. Yeah. You're not too excited about it?
Not really.
I'm putting a number on the screen with each photo. Let us know in the comments what you guys think. If we could make that a little bit interactive, although it's not live, that would be awesome. Just let us know what you think for each shot. That's a great way, I think. Next one, what do we have here? We've got a bird.
Yeah, I'd say this is one of the more interesting frames in the set.
Dude, it's really sharp. Like, yeah, shutter speed was great.
I mean, yeah, you have 1/1000. That's the fastest you can go on the camera. Yeah. The focus isn't perfect, but again, with street photography and film, you don't really care for it to be absolutely perfect. What was really funny is when we were shooting this, I remember you were like, wait, did you take the photo? I was like, yeah, I took the photo, and then I just kept running. So you have to be like, you just have to be really quick. If you,
Yeah.
I was expecting the bird to do that, so when I saw that it did it, I snapped the frame and I moved on. Not like digital where you approach that bird and you're like, you know, spraying and praying.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I took the one frame and you know, it turned out really well with the way the bird
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
is
That's
framed
pretty cool.
in the shot.
Why is it so grainy, everything? Is that normal?
Yeah, that's just film. That's
okay.
what film is like. When you have a higher number value on the stock, so this is Portra
Yeah.
400, it becomes more grainy as you get higher.
Oh.
So yeah.
Oh, got it. Because I thought like it wouldn't change because it's always supposedly for ISO. It's a ISO 400, right?
Yeah. So ISO is emulated over from film stock.
Yeah.
But as you
okay.
can see, like with film, you can see that there's still clouds in the sky.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah, the highlights are saved there. So the dynamic
right
range,
here, guys.
the dynamic range of the film is definitely there. And if you pull it into post, like we're in Lightroom right now, you could do things to enhance that as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Woo. Oh, I remember that one. You were like, I'm gonna use that background and kind of, yeah, I'm gonna try.
I do like the stark contrast of the woman on the wall walking the opposite way of the guy walking.
Yeah.
But it almost looks like he's looking up at her.
Yeah.
And doing nearly the same exact pose, which is exactly what I was going for. And
That's
I'm
cool.
happy with how he's framed in between the two pylons on the sidewalk, which is great.
Would you recrop that?
I would rotate it a bit to get those
can
lines.
we do it
Sure.
together?
Yeah.
Can I do a crop for you? And
Go
you
ahead.
let me if you hate it on that?
Sure. So you're gonna do a vertical.
I would go like that, maybe a little bit. Boom. There we go. What do you think?
I wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't do that. I would do that just because it cleans up my frame.
You also have to recognize your resolution because we didn't get the largest film. We didn't get the largest film scans. We got the medium film scans because they're more affordable. So
Yeah.
you also have to keep that in account.
How would you crop it?
I rarely shoot portrait style on street photography. I like shooting landscape
Yeah.
because it involves the whole frame. It involves everything that's happening.
Got it.
So I would keep that for sure as a landscape, but I would not crop in that much.
Let's see what Eric
I'm
does.
very intentional about how I frame my shots with street. So I really wouldn't crop in that much. I would just crop to make him centered. And I would involve the other guy on the wall there.
Makes sense.
That's really about all I would do. I don't really like doctoring my street photos that much because I want to keep the authenticity of the film.
Of the moment when you shot it.
Yeah,
Totally
and
makes sense.
I don't know, it just feels so much more wholesome when you have the original photo like as close to possible the way you shot it. It just feels so good.
Yeah.
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 So the one thing I dislike about the photo is that my shutter was obviously pretty low. My focus wasn't too great, and so
You get a little blur, huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
he's not too in focus, and he's not really frozen there, but still conceptually pretty cool.
And you see, I think that is a great thing is the way I cropped it is the way I might have shot it.
Yeah.
You know? And the way you shot it and leave it is great because it's like same scene, but you can have 1,000 photographers and you're gonna have 1,000 different frames, and that's what I love. Oh, I remember that one too.
Yeah. So
With the guy, like.
yeah. So this is me shooting. They call it shooting from the hip, even though I wasn't shooting at my hip. I was shooting like at my chest.
Yeah.
So I wasn't looking through the viewfinder, and you're obviously taking a
Who
risk.
does that? Wait, let's ask them because who shoots from the hip here? Anyone? Because let us know because I think I saw in comments in a video with Sean Tucker, someone mentioned that.
Yeah.
Sorry. Please.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's a really popular film technique, just so people don't recognize that you're shooting and you capture them the way that they are. As I talked about in the video, is I always overexpose film.
Yeah.
Just so because you can always bring back the highlights in
Got
post.
it.
So if you want to show them, just dialing back the exposure a little bit,
Sure.
you'll be able to see how much you can save.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
totally different than digital when it comes to
Wow.
highlights. So I always overexpose to make sure
Yeah,
because
you can-
I don't want to ruin all of the information in the shadows. Yeah, it's just the opposite in that way with digital. You are, like I said, you are shooting with a risk by shooting at the hip. With the intention of capturing the subject in their natural form and what they're doing. Yeah, I thought this is kind of interesting. I mean, the composition isn't great. It cuts off his hands, but it's still kind of cool with the lines leading to his head, the color scheme, and just the look of obviously this is telling a story that it was absolutely freezing cold that day.
Yeah.
And that's really what I wanted to go for.
Which is very contrasted to the bright blue sky
Right.
with the sun. Whew, what's next?
I actually really love this photo.
Really?
Yeah. So this is like.
I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. So these are the kind of street photos I enjoy, just because they're so different than everything else you ever see. Clearly,
Is it different because you missed your intention?
well, that's the.
And you like the result?
Yeah. So that's the beauty of street photography, is I didn't mean to shoot it this way.
Yeah.
But it's just so interesting. Like if I were to post this photo to Instagram, it wouldn't be that exciting because of the format, right?
Yes.
But viewing it with the intention of like knowing that it's a street photograph is pretty cool. Mostly why I think it's pretty cool is just the stark difference of the composition, the light in it, and the lines work. So it goes from this gradient of really dark to really bright.
Yeah.
And it's a very untraditional composition of a subject. But it's pretty cool just because you can't see her eyes really.
I could see that printed in like,
Yeah.
you know, in a cool apartment.
This is the beauty of street photography, is like you mess up, you miss, and then you still end up with things that are really interesting and exciting. And I never shot with I was shooting from my hip, so I had no idea that this is what the frame looked like.
Yeah.
So I had no idea that the gradient went from dark to bright, and that's really cool.
That is the fun part, is to be able to get excited even about shots that you thought maybe you think they're technically incorrect, you know. But if you're excited about it, if you love the story you're trying to tell, I mean, who cares, you know, like you're the only judge of your own work. So next one, I remember the guy almost came out and punched you in the face. No, I'm kidding, but the guy was a little bit surprised. The taxi guy, right?
Yeah. Again, on the 10-minute challenge, I wouldn't have shot this probably, or I would have been more patient. I would have probably waited for him to like put the sandwich in his mouth and do something more interesting. But he was looking right at me. It's not the best technically by any means, because there's really no light on his face. It's hard to see it, but at the same time it's kind of cool because it's a little mysterious. These are the kind of shots you have to step out in and just like trust that.
Yeah, you just cross your fingers and go for it. What I like with your shot, and again, those are things you pick up after that are non-intentional. You've got the city service here, which is red. Then you've got that point of light here, and then you've got another memory call with colors right here. And I don't know, it just makes an interesting line, and my eye totally went like that. Next one, I think just after that, you went and talked to the guy to get a shot. Ooh, ready? Wow, that's really black in the background. That's crazy.
Those
like the background disappeared. It's great.
Yeah, those shadows really fell off, and I wasn't thinking it was gonna do that, but it was just really bright sunlight there.
Yeah, because you said maybe at f8 it's not good because I have too much in the background, but there's like
and ended up not mattering. Which is really cool. I actually really like the frame.
It's a fun portrait with the yellow.
It's pretty drastic, and I like that only his right eye is lit, but then his glasses, like the left part of his glasses, are lit as well.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's just really interesting. Again, it tells the story of that day with it being so cold. He's got kind of like a Bane from Batman look going on. And a security badge. Not the best portrait in the world with 10 minutes to do it, but pretty cool with color and light. This is kind of just a trash frame.
Trash frame. Okay, moving on. I like it actually. I like that one. So you see, taste and color is different.
Yeah, and then this one's also just kind of a trash frame.
No, okay.
That was like the last few seconds. I was just trying to snap something.
What is that one?
This is outside the 10 seconds.
I'm gonna give the context to you guys because you didn't see that in the video. That's when he was trying to explain to me how to use the camera in the Starbucks, and then you took a photo.
Yeah, so these are the kind of street photos.
Ends up cool, no?
Yeah, these are the kind of street photos I really love, where it's just like, it's capturing the era, and the composition is just kind of cool because the storefront and the windows are framing the subjects, and there's that cool piece of light that's kind of passing over his body.
Yeah, and you've got two people. I like it. I like his look.
You can tell that I'm shooting through glass, which is really cool.
All right. And now, guys, I want to rewind back to that amazing portrait sequence, just for the fun of it.
Sure.
You look really good with your hand.
Okay.
It's my first time with this camera, so
Okay.
I think. Okay. Let's do it. Whew. I'm taking. How do you do that?
Do what?
Oh no, it's my friend's camera. It's the old school film. I have no clue how to use it, but it's okay. And then.
Just press the button.
Almost. We're almost there. I think I got it now.
Alright,
Yeah.
okay.
Thank you, sir.
Alright,
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
alright.
I'm here. Awesome, I got it. And now, what is the result? Because we all waited for that one. You were cringing. I was like, I didn't even realize how long the time was elapsing. But what I remember is that I literally clicked the photo after I told him I was done. Because I almost forgot to click the photo. I was like, okay, cool. I'm like, it's good, I got it. Because I just put all my settings together and I thought I took the photo, but I didn't take the photo. So I clicked that photo just when he relaxed a little bit because he was getting really tense at the end. And here is the result. Oh my God. That is hilarious. Okay. The sky is really well lit,
Yep.
like exposed. The building on the left has good exposure.
Yep.
You can kind of see his face. I clearly underexposed, so I guess the metering just told me that the sky was exposed.
Correct.
And not him.
Yeah, so that's just experience. You have to recognize, like, if you're gonna shoot from that angle and you're shooting right up into the sky, that's about 50% of your frame there, so the meter's gonna tell you, hey,
That is
exposed for
so
this.
bad.
So you have to know in your head, okay, I need to make sure my shutter's a lot slower. I need to open up my aperture a lot more so that I can get the person's face.
What if I had to do it again, and maybe that can help one of you? I would literally do the same thing, but point the camera to the sky, check what the metering is telling me, point it back at his face, and check what it's if it's telling me the same thing, then I know I'm exposing for the sky and not him. So, and then I would change it up. But what happens if do you think that's no?
That's what I talked about with film. You have to
Oh
overexpose.
God, you can't do anything.
Nope. You have to
Man,
overexpose.
no, I feel so bad because I kind of love that shot. Just because of the story behind it.
Yeah.
I kind of love it. I think the angle is interesting. He's really glowing. Maybe I would have put the sun a little bit more on the left side just to get a little bit more flare. Oh man, that is, sorry dude, like, sorry man. I mean, I can send you the photo if you're ever watching that video, I can send it to you, but okay, moving on. Well, oh, I love that one.
This one's pretty cool, yeah.
I love that one.
The lead lines and yeah, the stark contrast.
I might crop it a little bit because
Sure.
here it's not like symmetrical.
Yeah, I
that's
think this
better.
is one of your best shots for sure.
It's better. Yeah, that's it. You can stop watching the rest, guys. No, I think there is another one I like. But this one, I remember I was like standing on top, there was a frozen glob right there, and I was like, oh, this is an easy composition, I need to at least secure one shot. And literally in my head I was like, I need to secure one good shot. The taxi, I saw it arrive from really far and I started panicking in my head because I was like, oh God, I need the settings. It kind of worked out, it's very contrasted, but that's cool, I like it. Just vote down below. I'm joking, there's no competition, we're just having fun. It's so personal at the end of the day. Like that one, when I went on top of that bridge. So for that one, I went on top of the bridge and you know what I love about that? Is the edit. The way it got processed, make it super shadowy.
Yep.
Which means,
yep.
oh look at that! I can even bring that back. That's awesome.
Yep.
Boom.
So that's
there
why
we go.
that's why you overexpose.
Oh, that's great.
But you could tell when you bring the exposure down, it starts changing the tint of the taxi.
Yeah.
So I would then go to the HSL sliders and then bring it back to like its normal yellow, make it more true to what its tone really was. Yeah, more like that.
I like that one because I was just in the action and it's cool. I also kind of like seeing that guy. Mm-hmm. If you make a print out of that, I think that is cool because that's the kind of photos you're going to look at for a bit of time. And yes,
it's also really interesting. I never noticed this. All three of these people are in the same stride in the background.
Isn't that crazy?
It's just that's the kind of stuff I love about street. You had no intention of doing that, and that stuff just happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had the intention of the yellow taxi 100% because I was waiting and just jumping around. What is funny, that bar.
Yeah, that might be because my lens is broken.
It's okay, it's okay. It makes it more interesting in my opinion. And you see if we had like 70 million pixels here, you could literally recrop that one and make a tiny frame. You know, like a tiny frame like that? That would be kind of fun to display around. Wow, can't wait to have a place where I can put photos. Next one, oh yeah, I mean that's one of my random shots. I wanted to show, it's cold, that lady was kind of cool the way she was walking.
I think what was really cool here and kind of funny was that guy did not want to be photographed. And you didn't notice.
true.
I don't know if you noticed that.
I didn't notice at first. I
just-
was focused
the
on
whole
her,
time-
but I knew he was there.
The whole time you had your camera to your face, he turned his head like that as he approached you, even though he was walking that way.
Oh really? So he deliberately was like,
Yep.
I'm not gonna be in there.
Yep.
I'm about to get prosecuted in
Yep.
justice, so I don't. Oh wow! Or my wife doesn't know, you know, kind of thing.
But that kind of stuff is really interesting as well because it plays with the dynamic of psychology and like the morality of what street photography is. And
No, yeah, it's always a fine line, in my opinion. Yeah, that's a cool frame. Nothing more than that. I wouldn't be like overly excited.
It's
I like
that's
that
great.
one.
Yeah,
That
it's
one.
really hard to shoot in the winter. Like the light is just
Without gloves.
the light, especially in Chicago, the colors are just really nasty in the winter. Like all of the concrete looks really yellow, and everything is dead. Like you go back to this frame, and all the trees are just nasty and dead, and there's no vibrancy. So
Yeah.
it's especially shooting at the time we did. It was like the middle of the day. Like all of those variables don't do super well on film.
It makes it difficult.
So yeah, I mean, you got to keep all those variables in mind.
This one, I remember, I got a little bit tricked by the camera because I thought I had more of that bench right here in the frame, which was doing the leading line. I wanted the lady to be a little bit further to like really lead towards it and have her shadow. So like double leading line. Did not happen, but I still like it. Because I mean her shadow is kind of funny. It almost looks like she has like claws.
I like the
it's cool.
isolation of the one subject and the centeredness is really cool, especially like with where she is in front of that building, where she's kind of like meeting the corner of the building. It's pretty cool.
You're like, that's really nice. Everyone, this is fun. You should try. Get a disposable camera. There have some on Amazon, I think, and just play around with that.
Yeah.
That is cool. Am I getting like super excited about
Yeah.
my own photos? I think everyone should be excited about their photos. If you're not, it's I feel like I'm more excited by that. Actually, it depends. This is equaling to a very, very good like photo shoot with my digital camera. Because the excitement level when you look at it, when you had an amazing shoot, like when I was in Indonesia in the cave, it was insane. I was like, wow, on every shot. And this is because you waited so long. There was like, you know, this is fun.
The Sears Tower is so big that it like you just see the scale of the city.
And look at that little
The plume,
smoke.
yeah.
It's like it's coming out of a cloud, but there is a building that's coming out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Literally. So I don't know. I think that was my last frame.
And the flare on the bottom right is really cool too.
Little flare.
Yeah. You see that pop of light coming from the sun.
Yeah. I tried. And then
Was that a pigeon?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a pigeon, abstract pigeon. All right, that's a pigeon, guys. I really tried to take a pigeon, but I wanted to get the Sears Tower. I wanted to get the pigeon in the sky flying. It clearly didn't work out as I expected. And that was just after the 10 minutes. I tried to get that lady, and I think if I had the right exposure, because clearly it's been like cranked up like crazy, now it's super grainy, but that would look great.
It would have looked,
That would
it
have
still
looked
does
great.
look really cool.
And you see the pigeon?
Yeah, I did not notice that before. That's awesome.
The pigeon is flying. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, I wanted to get that little feeling of the lady feeding them, have the pigeon there.
Kind of like Mary Poppins, like feed the birds.
Yes, and she was really nice. She was really nice. She talked to us.
You taught me something in that. I'm really bad at talking to people like that. You were just having a conversation with her, and you took her photo, and she just didn't even care, and it was fine.
No,
and I always have anxiety about that stuff.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Dude, like always, guys, always go in with a smile and just play. Because imagine you're going to work. You know, you might have a normal day. Let's not say you have a bad day. You just have a normal day. You're going to work. There's a dude with a camera that's like, But imagine the dude comes. He has a giant smile and he's like making a joke or saying something nice to you. Suddenly your day goes from it's a normal day to something cool happened. You know. So I tried to put myself in their shoes. Wow, Eric, I want to know. Do you want to do it again one day?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, no?
Yeah, can we do it when it's warmer?
Yeah, we should do it when it's warmer. I want you guys to let us know also in the comments, what do you think about it? Did you like the concept? Did you like the feeling of, I know a lot of you hated not seeing the photos, but maybe it's something to dig more into because we see the result instantly, you know? And even with YouTube, I think it's kind of cool not to be able to see the result of the video. I know some of you literally hated it, but I kind of like it. I wanted to share that experience with you guys, and I think that did a great job.
Yeah, you got to experience this.
And I sent him like 1,000 messages. Eric, where are the photos? When do we get the photos? All that. All right, guys. Eric, right here. Everyone on Instagram at eric.floberg, at POT Come say hi. Probably those photos won't make it, but maybe one day. We're definitely gonna post them in the stories. So come over and. Maybe we'll hang them here, like as a trophy, you know, one day.
Definitely the portrait of that guy, yeah.
Just press the button. Just press the button. Okay, we're gonna make a T-shirt that's called "Just Press the Button"
with that portrait on the T-shirt.
Exactly. Just press the button. But you know, there is like I think YouTube lets you like create T-shirts and put them in our videos. We should totally put one like that. I wouldn't use his face though. I wouldn't use.
Oh, you can't see his face anyway.
Hey, don't. That's what. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching this far. I hope that has been instructional, that you've learned a few tips also. And remember, at the end of the day, don't overthink it. Just try to think about your story, have fun. And when you look at your shot, try to imagine a story and get the feeling about the image versus trying to get this perfection, you know. And you in wedding photography, he got scared. You in wedding photography, that's 100%.
That's what
like,
it's all about, yeah.
It's what, yeah, exactly, totally. All right, Eric, everyone subscribe, come say hi, come meet us in the next episode. Get out there, go shoot, try something different, try something new. Bye.